This new constitution is an embodiment of our best hopes, aspirations, ideals, and values.
The Constitution of Kenya 2010 and various national statutes protect women's rights to land and property. However, in practice, women continue to be disadvantaged and discriminated due to customary laws and practices which continue to exclude women from owning or inheriting land and other forms of property.
Where do these people own land? Is it on me, the husband, or is it on him, the father? There is where we want. And if it is on both, then should we say women then are very lucky. They have two lands on both sides.
Most of our men does not accept that women or our girls can own land.
Most times, such people are just arrogant. But if they're talked to and even counseled, because maybe they're suffering from some fear, the fear of losing property and so on and so forth.
When you lose a husband, you go through so much. One, your in-laws will maybe take everything, starting from the IDs and with the estate that your husband left for you.
I am childless as we talk, so it means all the wealth that my late husband had is supposedly be mine. It is fortunate that he wrote that in the event of his death, I should be given 80% and 20% to his family. So that is what supported me.
Customary norms and practices in Kenya generally grant women secondary rights to land through their relationships to a male relative. This can be either a father, brother, or husband.
The women are more productive with land. You can't find a woman sleeping up to maybe 10 or 9 o'clock in the morning. It won't work. This woman will have to wake up in the morning with the kids. You'll have to go to the shamba with the kids first of all. Is when the kids will run to school. This woman will come back after working on her shamba. She'll have to come back, prepare breakfast while the husband is still sleeping.
Women are rarely able to inherit land in their own right and without hostility from their male counterparts within the community.
To wapoyo gimoro sa apar ka ochak tong kayuora machielo jomoko chako tong awinjo mabati kitongo matek gitongo matek taringa wuok oko
Nobet utewa otimno gimoro amora minyalo tim manwa waweka yani jogo wewa ka koro wana kanyo
tako ni an machoro sathoni utonga nango ang'ama biro gedona dak ni to bunyiswa ni gine ni wadar nwe lobni ka chwara pok wayiko ka ken lopu kwa dhi ka polis ka chopo ka polis ni OCS ko chako ndiko wach OCS konane wadare lobno
wadak waluor wan kata utego wadake to wadak ok wanindi nikech adier ka odi nyalo tim kama lo mora mora nyalo dhi be koro mani lo ma wano kendwa jogo bonyuol kanyo oyudo mana ka lobne mantiere kanyo
onge kaka nyalo timo chwora na wegi nyithindo mathindo kata sani an gi rude ma jo nasari moweyago kako kachako chwo piny kata kaka nyalo timo onge udi bo okethi te mo kata du neno kako ogine jwala aba udi gi jwala omuk te odni aba gi jwala sani kuma ninde aba gi jwala
wasedak e lobno sani ana setedo kanyo an gigni 18
kata ng'ama nyalo konya onge ka yuocha gi be nigi sida te kila ng'ato nigi sida nikech to ng'ute gi te koro an gi sida mokanyal onge kaka nyalo konyo kunyalo konya uru nikech sani kata nengo mabati kende ni malo mokanyal kenda okanyal.
Further, women are often displaced from matrimonial land or land that they inherited from their paternal homes.
After losing my spouse, I was forced to practice cultural, and the culture that they wanted me to practice was just totally different from our community, because they wanted me to have a man to be inherited. It was like after the death of my husband, it was felt like I was to be cleansed, and being cleansed is through sex. And they said, you are being forced. So I said no. So they timed me when I had gone to church. When I came back, I found my house down. It had been demolished. And there was no one to tell me where my house was.
Gender-based violence is rampant, and women are still underrepresented in decision-making processes at all levels, including in matters land and property ownership.
Mostly, widows, our rights are violated because we don't have a voice. People see us as a weaker part of the community just because we don't have men to stand by us.
Kitu nimeobserve sana Mfangano, wanawake huwa they don't face issues. Kuna woga ingine, sijui ni just ignorance, sijui ni nini. Unakufa tu na ungeenda pale ungesaidiwa.
Poverty will make a woman not even wish to go to court. She will just decide to say, they have taken my land, let them be with that land. I am praying God will help me.
Kelleen has supported many women in communities of Kisumu and Homa Bay in reclaiming their rights and rebuilding their lives.
Mano alufu ario gang alufu 204. Na dong gi nyithindo, an gi nyithindo 10. Tulo imaya. Nyithinda gi be onge kata tich nyaka sani. Gionge tich. Moko tiyo ne ji. Moko be tiyo mana mali tichungo gi. Koro an puodho ni ema konya kata nyithindo ma pod dhi sikul. Puodho ni ema konya.
One of the core principles laid down in the Constitution of Kenya 2010 to guide the administration of justice and the exercise of judicial authority is the requirement to embrace alternative forms of dispute resolution, including traditional dispute resolution mechanisms.
Criminal one, we cannot sit somebody down and discuss. But the civil one, that we can put somebody down and discuss.
Settling disputes out of court is the best alternative, because it is not costly, it is not consuming a lot of the time, because you are within the environment where you nini, it is less, taking a lot less time compared to court issues. I can recall I registered a case in court in 2013, and up to date the judgment has not been done. So could have told this one was being undertaken by the Alternative Dispute Resolution Committee, maybe we could have been, now the case could have been over.
Mfangano here is a place where we don't have lawyers. Those who are practicing law practice outside the island. We only have courts in Beta. So if you want to go to court, you must spend. And from here to Beta, to and fro is 500. You've not taken anything. Breakfast and lunch will raise it to some other. So the distance where courts are is one big problem.
It also helps the judiciary lower the backlog of cases.
This requirement is a fundamental shift from the approach to the idea and concept of justice, especially in our Kenyan context.
I'm a victim of violation of a right. From 1996, I had a land case in Kisumu High Court, which was concluded last year, March. So that's when I saw people having a lot of challenges in pursuing their cases.
With the courts, there are some amount of fee you have to pay. Distance also is a factor. It takes a long time for one to get justice.
Lakini nimesaa sunguka, 206 paka leo. 206 paka leo. Sijapata haki yangu.
Kenya's communities have, for generations, developed their own justice systems that have and continue to hold societies together. While justice dispensed by the courts has occupied the center stage in the administration of justice, the reality is that the vast majority of disputes, the policy estimates around 90%, among Kenyans are resolved through justice systems that are outside the formal court process.
We need to establish a stronger Law Council of Elder unit where cases can be referred from the court and elders are found seated there and they deliberate. That's number one. If you cannot establish that, then you would request the judiciary to have a hall where they can now send cases directly referred by the magistrates.
They are comfortable coming to us because they say that maybe going to court is a process, is bringing enmity, itachukua muda watafanya, but at the end of the day, the cases are solved.
Alternative justice systems, commonly referred to as AJS, are the comprehensive, organic, non-state mechanisms of laws, norms, customs, social and legal systems which govern and regulate the entire spectrum of activities and lives of individuals from birth to death. They are constituted, applied and enforced by people themselves in their own communities.
We have elders who hail from the community and they understand very well how or who the land belongs to. The elders we use, they are not just elders that we collect, but they are elders with the wisdom. They are people who are respected in their community, and they are also people who have that influence in the community. So when we use them, it is easy for people to change.
For some of these women, justice has been served. For others, we remain hopeful that the wheels of justice will turn in their favor.
I would wish women to come out and fight for their spaces in whichever category, be it in the society, in the community, or church level, beach. Women should not just sit back.
Okokao ndalo mang'eny utieko chiegni dweche adek kende odhi bure didek ne higni chiegni 18 to buro dhi didi ka winjo ni welo ne biro ka ta mage ng'wech ni mondo abi mondo mi agone jo Kilindi erokamano. Kilindi mabiro gone erokamano.
We are reclaiming rights and rebuilding lives.